yarmulke, here comes Hanukkah. So much funaka to celebrate Hanukkah. Hanukkah is the festival of lights. Instead of one day of presents, we have 8 crazy nights. But when you feel like the only kid in town without a Christmas tree, here's a list of people who are Jewish, just like you and me. David Lee Roth lights the menorah. So do Kirk Douglas, James Caan, and the late Dinah Shore. Guess who eats together at the Carnegie Deli? Bowser from Shanana and Arthur Fonzarelli. Paul Newman's half Jewish and Goldie Hawn's half too. Put them together, what a fine-looking Jew. You don't need Dector Halls or Jingle Bell Rock, 'cause you can spin a dreidel with Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock, both Jewish. Put on your yarmulke, here comes Hanukkah. The owner of the Seattle Supersonica celebrates Hanukkah. O.J. Simpson, not a Jew. But guess who is? Hall of Famer Rod Carew. He converted. We got Ann Landers and her sister, dear Abby. Harrison Ford's a quarter Jewish. Not too shabby. Some people think that Ebenezer Scrooge is, well, he's not. But guess who is? All 3 Stooges.
Us on their idea of a great last-minute Hanukkah gift, please welcome celebrated songwriters Garth and Kat.
It took me longer than usual to manscape, so I'm so sorry.
And I was taking down our Christmas tree.
Wait, taken down? Christmas is a week away.
No, I wasn't taking it down like that. I was taking it down like, you suck, you don't look right.
Yeah, it deserved it.
It really did. Oh. Music, yes,
Yes,
we're ready to go.
Very funky.
Yep.
It's called Menorah in the Window.
Yep. Here we go. Ready?
Very
Hit
funky.
It.
Yep.
Hanukkah is just 8 nights, but our joy will last all year.
Okay, now this sounds like a real song.
My uncle, I had a couple of uncles with gray hair. A couple of uncles with gray hair. And they celebrate.
With the Garth and Kat, everybody.
I know Houston can't be heaven because Houston is right down here on earth. I know Houston can't be heaven because Houston's right down here on earth. But it must be headquarters for pretty angels. You are so beautiful to me. You are so beautiful to me. Can't you see?
This summer I went swimming, this summer I might have drowned, but I held my breath and I kicked my feet and I moved my arms around, This summer I swam in the ocean and swam in a swimming pool, salt my wounds, cleaned my eyes, I'm a self-destructive fool, self-destructive fool. And you know that that's not all.
You can see the shadows of the past written in his eyes. Now the cannons are silent, the spirits are all gone. Gotta put it all behind him if he ever wants to find his way home. He's the last rebel on.
Forever. Rock a block, Rockefeller.
I'm feeling it. Feel the blast, you can tell the moon. Feel the legs pushing up on the set. I'm feeling it. Feel the high that you get from the line. If you feel it,
I keep it realer than most, I know you're feeling it. Crystals are nice, I like the toes, I keep on spilling it. Bone crushers, I keep real close, I got the skill for this. On my back, the flyers closed, looking ill as shit. Transactions illegitimate, cause life is still a bitch. And then you die, but for now, life, close your eyes and feel its dick. Since diapers had nothing to live for, like the
Well, that was the music medley to open up Mia's World. Welcome to Mia's World. Welcome to my world. Welcome to City World Radio Network. Welcome to Jade Zabrich, my wonderful singer, songwriter, engineer, etc., etc. What are you doing this week, Jade? Tomorrow night, Wednesday, December 5, Bitter End, free concert. It's the Funkadelic show, and Jade will be there performing with her, singing her heart out. So check that out tomorrow night, Wednesday on Bleecker Street, Bitter End. Great landmark place. So the opening medley. Happy Hanukkah, everybody. We've got sort of a special Hanukkah Christmas show tonight with my guest, my special guest, Jake Ehrenreich, who's calling in any minute now. And he's now doing a new show on JBS, Jewish Broadcasting Service. He's doing a special Treasury of Jewish Christmas Songs show at Birdland, December 24th and 25th. And we're going to hear talk to him and talk about his amazing, amazing voice and his background and et cetera, et cetera. But first, let me just tell you about the music medley you heard. So my listeners know that my music medley is based on people who were born today or events that have happened today being December 4th of any particular random year. So it's always a really interesting mixture of rock, classic, folk, country, whatever. So first we had my theme song, which I play every week, which I love so much, Moonlight in Vermont. And there is nothing like the full moon in Vermont. I'll tell you, I've been there. That's the Karl Susdorf ballad. Then we heard the amazing Adam Sandler Hanukkah song, which if you follow Saturday Night Live's history, Adam Sandler, one of the original, early cast members who had that hilarious Hanukkah parody song. And Adam Sandler was born December 4th. Then we heard Jeff Bridges, born December 4th, 1949. We heard the theme from the Fabulous Baker Boys by Neil Hefti. Hold on, that must be our friend Jake Ehrenreich. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, is that Jake Ehrenreich?
It is. Can
Hi.
you hear me okay?
Yes, I can, and we're on the air, and I'm just going through the medley that we just heard, so you want to hang on for a bit?
Absolutely.
All right, Jake. I just introduced you to our listeners as the amazing Jake Ehrenreich, and that you're doing the Birdland show and the CD and the JBS show, but we will be talking to Jake in a few minutes about all these amazing activities and hearing your music. So we're in the middle of announcing the medley. Jeff Bridges, born December 4th, 1949. He was in the Fabulous Baker Boys, and that was the theme by Neil Hefti from the Fabulous Baker Boys. Then we heard classical composer Michel Pignolet de Montclair, composer born December 4th, 1667, from the Ensemble Odyssée, that was Air Tendre. And then the Barbarella theme song, the French cinematographer Claude Renoir, born December 4th, 1914, followed by American jazz guitarist Jim Hall, December 4th, 1930, with Round Midnight, great classic song composed by Thelonious Monk. And then the great Garth and Cat, Fred Armisen and Kristen Wiig. Fred Armisen was born December 4th, 1968. That was their version of Hanukkah songs, a little dissonant, Menorah in the Window. And Larry Davis, born December 4th, 1936, blues singer with Angels in Houston. American drummer, vocalist from the Beach Boys, Dennis Wilson, born December 4th, 1944, with You Are So Beautiful. And one of my favorites, Anna McGarrigle, the Canadian folk music singer and songwriter, born December 4th, 1944, with the Swimming Song. Then one of Jake Ehrenreich's picks, Shlomo Carlebach, whom I got to know pretty well, and I know Jake knows him very well, or knew him very well. He's passed on, but Shlomo Carlebach with Boi Bi Shalom. Then another Jake pick was Steely Dan, and that was Aja. Steely Dan, great sounds of Steely Dan. Then Terry Woods, the Irish musician from the Pogues, born December 4th, 1947, with a piece of Misty Morning, Albert Bridge. American rock musician Gary Rossington, born December 4th, 1951, with The Dream Will Never Die. And the great jazz singer Cassandra Wilson, also born December 4th, 1955, with the Cyndi Lauper's Time After Time. Jay-Z, also born today. God, you're in great company, Jake. December 4th, 1969. Sean Carter. American rapper Jay-Z, and that was from his Reasonable Doubt album, Feeling It. Then, because Dmitri Shostakovich's Second Symphony, October, premiered in 1927 on December 4th in Moscow. We heard a little piece of that. And Duke Ellington opened at the Cotton Club on December 4th, 1927 in Harlem. That was Echoes of the Jungle. The Judds, the country music women, the Judds, their final Nashville concert was December 4th, 1991. That was from Give a Little Love. Alanis Morissette won the Billboard Music Awards in 1996, and that was You Ought to Know. And then the Maccabees, a great a cappella Jewish group that will be on next week, or calling in, I should say, and that was from their new Hanukkah release, I Have a Little Dreidel. So that was the music medley. Couple of more quick announcements here. Some other December 4th birthdays that are of note. Marissa Tomei, the actress, 1964. I mentioned Jeff Bridges, the actor, 1949. Austrian poet Rainer Maria Rilke, 1875. The Russian-born abstract painter Vasily Kandinsky, born 1866. Claude Renoir, the French cinematographer, 1914. Actress Deanna Durbin, 1921. And I mentioned Cassandra Wilson, the great jazz singer, 1955. And Tyra Banks, the American supermodel, 1973. Today's fun holidays: Santa's List Day, it's Wear Brown Shoes Day, it's World Wildlife Conservation Day, it's National Cookie Day. Do you got a cookie, Jake?
Yeah.
Let's get some of those s'mores or Oreos or whatever. It's Dice Day. It's Sock Day. If you were here, Jake, I would have given you a fun gift of socks, but the next time you'll be here.
Wow.
Yeah. It's Cabernet Franc Day. It's Extraordinary Work Team Recognition Day. It's Wildlife Conservation Day, and it's World Trick Shot Day. A couple of things in history today. In 1843, Manila paper made from canvas and rope was patented in Massachusetts. William Mager Tweed, Boss Tweed, escaped from jail in 1875. Duke Ellington, 1927, opened at the Cotton Club. Killer fogs begin in London. The term smog was coined December 4th, 1952. 1954, the first Burger King opened in Miami. And in 1978, Dianne Feinstein was named as San Francisco's first female Jewish mayor. And that's the news of December 4th. Now, before we get to Jake Ehrenreich, my lovely, wonderful guest, who I was listening to your music today, Jake, and it really made me melt and cry, and in good tears, though. I mean, it's so moving. Your voice is like silver. Anyway, here is my weekly wrap-up of the news in rhyme, and then we'll move on to Jake Ehrenreich with our interview. So here we go to sparkle up the gloom of the news. The Mideast may be bickering, the politicians snickering, but for 8 nights we know we'll see the glow of the Hanukkah candles flickering. We light the menorah in degrees, and remember the Maccabees. Dreidels are spinning, children are grinning, more potato latkes, please. On a par with Keats and Shelley, it's the landmark Carnegie Deli. They heard my yearning, for it's returning to answer the prayers of my belly. Who called the corned beef genie? Or was it Harry Houdini who got the scoop? I love matzo ball soup. It's better than fettuccine. It's the best pastrami on rye. We crave it, don't ask why. A pop-up streak for 1 long week and sandwiches sky high. They call it a cross-promotion. For TV shows such devotion. I may sound nasal, but Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, that's what's all the commotion. The Marriott hotel chain says hackers went insane. They went in for the kill, hacking 500 mil guest records. How about some champagne? Weston and Starwood were hit. A Loft and W slit. But the New York AG says defiantly consumers should not have a fit. They will be protected. Why? They've called in the FBI to investigate Marriott Gate, the data breach on high. Jeff Zuckerberg, shame, shame, his meteoric rise to fame does not excuse his rudeness fuse, which is indeed quite lame. Yes, he's on the go, but to be a no-show? At a London hearing, that's not endearing. This does not have a fuzzy glow. The topic was fake news. Is Zuckerberg singing the blues? His House of Commons seat, described in a tweet, was empty. He took a snooze. Black Friday was put to bed, but Wall Street was seeing red. The stocks were slumpy, investors grumpy, filled with economy dread. Will it go down another notch? Are the experts' advice just a botch? Even blue chip took quite a dip. I think I'll go get a scotch. What's causing the falls and spikes? Trade tensions and rate hikes? From the Federal Reserve, what gall, what nerve? Will the slowdown continue? Yikes. Reports of a China trade deal. Is it false or is it real? More riots in France. It's no waltz. It's no dance. Macron's the stiletto heel. Both sides of the aisle have cried, now that Bush 41 has died. No need to save face. He was filled with grace, dapper, daring, and dignified. It's National Cookie Day. Here's to Montecanos, ole. The memory lingers of lady fingers. Now where is my Chardonnay? And that's our rhyming wrap-up of the week. And
Wow.
it's
Wow.
it's not that easy, but it can be done.
No, not that easy. Does your audience realize what goes into writing something like that?
I don't know, but I'm glad you do.
That is insane. First of all, it's excellent.
Thank you,
but
Jake.
it's absolutely insane. Insane good. That's amazing.
Well, I've done it every week for 5 years, so we got like a historical account and rhyme of our news cycle here. So, not that anybody cares, but maybe one day we'll compile it and put it together. Maybe you can perform it.
You should certainly do a book of that stuff.
Well, I'll let you perform the songs. You can write the music and do the songs of the news. Yet another project you can embark on, Jake Ehrenreich, right?
Yes, That's just what I need. Thanks.
Exactly, as if you're not busy enough. But thank you for your lovely compliments. Now, Jake Ehrenreich, I heard you first. I heard you do your one-man show, A Jew Grows in Brooklyn, a couple of years back, and it was really feisty and poignant and beautiful. You are an author, a musician, a singer, a playwright. You're the son of Holocaust survivors. You have created this amazing show. You've done Broadway. You've done Rainbow Room. You've done Barnum, Ringo, and Beatlemania. You've worked with Tito Puente, Whitney Houston. You've received a special congressional citation. You were inducted into the Brooklyn Jewish Hall of Fame. What have you not done? You've done a book called Curious Reflections of the First Generation American, published by HCI, which is publishers of Chicken Soup for the Soul. You're coming up on Birdland. You've done a new CD. Okay, let's go backwards in time, Jake. Where did you grow up, and did you always know you wanted to be a singer?
I'm going to tell you, but I'm laughing because, I had to tell you a little story about what you're talking about. So, I don't know, last year, maybe it was 2 years ago now, my son is a wonderful musician. He goes to Berklee College of Music, and he was doing a few gigs around where I live.
Okay.
And I called the local newspaper. I'm friendly with one of the writers there. And I said, could you do something on Dubby? And she said, yeah, but, we got to talk about you, too. I can't just talk about a high school kid. He was still in high school at the time. So what are you doing? So I told her, so she wrote this article, and she said all the things, like sort of what you're saying, and she said he's the busiest guy in town. All right, fine. The next day, I'm out, like usual, in my pajamas. I'm throwing the garbage away, and my neighbor sees me, right? And that's how he always sees me. And he comes over, he says, hey, man, I read that article about you in the paper. I said, oh, yeah, thanks. He said, you don't seem that busy to me. Basically, all he sees is walking around in my pajamas all day.
Oh, my God. That is so funny. I love it. That's a great story, Jake. Well, you are busy. We have to set that neighbor straight because I don't know. Well, I don't know. Well, I guess you're saving time by walking around in pajamas because you have so many things to do. You just started this new TV series on Jewish Broadcasting Service, JBS, and it's called The Jake Ehrenreich Show. And I know your premiere show had the attorney Alan Dershowitz talking about his life in the Catskills and the old amazing what's the word I'm looking for? Marilyn Michaels. She's the impressionist, right?
Oh, yeah. Impressionist, yeah.
That's the word. And how did that come about?
Well, I'll tell you the funny thing about Alan, because this was actually very funny.
Yeah.
So I really called him. I know Alan he's a fan of the show and my books, and he's given me a bunch of quotes and all. So I called him because I know he has a Catskills history to be on my advisory board for the Catskills Hall of Fame. And he said, sure, I'll be happy to do it. And then he keeps sending me these Catskills stories, funny Catskills stories, on email and stuff. So I said, Alan, you should be on the show.
Right.
Said, okay.
Perfect.
He says, okay, fine. So now this is a few months before the show. Now we're like a week before the show. And he emails me. He says, so what do you want me to sing? I said, pardon me? What are you talking about? He said, well, you said you wanted me to sing. I said, Alan, if I did, I was kidding. But would you be willing to sing? He said, well, if it's the right song. I said, Alan, any song you would be willing to sing, I will get a track for, and I will do whatever you want. He said, all right, let me think about it. A few hours later, I just get an email that says, hello, Mother, hello, Father.
I love it.
I said, oh, my God. And he did actually sing Hello, Mother, hello.
I can just envision. It
was great.
Must have been quite a difference from his usual Harvard legal analysis, right? But he's he's so funny and he's so articulate. And I love it. You should have a split screen, lawyer legalese and then Catskillese. But have you gotten some response from that show? Uh-oh, we lost Jake. Jake, where are you? Come back. All right, well, while we're waiting for Jake, maybe we should play one of the songs from his latest CD, which is called A Treasury of Jewish Christmas Songs. and that's based on real Christmas songs, but some of them were composed by Jewish composers. For instance, Irving Berlin wrote White Christmas. Oh, there's Jake back again. Jake, are we back?
Yeah, we are. I'm so sorry. So I'm 2 days late for leaving for Florida.
Uh-huh.
And we're driving because we have equipment. We're doing a bunch of shows down there.
I know.
So here I am on 95 South. I hope I don't lose you again.
On the road with Jake Ehrenreich. I love it. It's like, remember Charles Kuralt on the road? Well, this is Jake Ehrenreich on the road. So we were.
Oh, I remember Charles. Sure.
He lived around the corner from me, and you could hear his voice in this local Italian restaurant, like booming across the room, right? But back to Alan Dershowitz, I just was wondering if you had any feedback on that first premiere show.
Oh yeah, look. I'm so grateful for this show, and people are sort of going nuts. Everybody says, "Oh, you got to make that go viral." Meanwhile, to me, viral is still like a virus, like a troglodyte.
How do people access JBS?
Oh, so it actually goes into 47 million homes across the country.
Right.
It's on the major cable providers.
Right.
Cablevision. The Time Warner thing.
Right, right.
But you can always go to jbstv.org.
Uh-huh,
and
okay.
there you can see where you get it. And, if you don't get it, you can always stream it online because they put the shows up. But it's on most major cable providers, on DirecTV, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. And what's coming up in terms of other guests? Do you remember?
So next... we do a new show starts to air every month, and it airs numerous times per week, so that's a really good thing.
That's
My
great.
next show features an old friend of mine who's a wonderful singer named Julie Budd.
Oh, God, I know her very well.
So Julie's on, and then we have some of the cast of Fiddler on the Roof in Yiddish.
Yep, they've been on this show, too.
Oh, my God.
Is that not amazing, that show?
It's really something. So we asked to have the two people that play Huddle and Perchik.
Yep.
Drew Stiegler and Stephanie.
Stephanie Lynn. Stephanie Lynn.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Two non-Jewish names.
Yeah.
Which is great. And it was so interesting to speak with them.
Yeah.
And we do this Catskills Hall of Fame. And the first one we inducted Jerry Lewis, and next month we're inducting Sid Caesar, which was so great. Both of who I have personal stories about. So it's really fun. I'm having a ball with it.
Well, you're such an engaging personality. Stephanie Lynn Mason, that's her name, by the way.
That's right. That's right. She was a doll.
She was right here in the studio, and such a lovely person. Well, before we continue with this, I want to hear you. I was telling our audience when you blocked out there about your new CD, The Treasury of Jewish Christmas Songs, which you will be performing from at Birdland, December 24th and 25th in New York City. It's a great, great thing to go see on West 44th Street. Birdland is the best. And then you're doing that in Florida in December as well, right?
Yeah, I'm headed there now. We have a show this Sunday.
The 9th.
The 9th in Boca Raton at the Meisner Park Cultural Center. And then the 12th at the Kravis in Performing Arts Center in West Palm Beach, and then the 16th at the Aventura Cultural Arts Center in Aventura. So we get to be warm for a little while.
It's frigid up here, so I'm glad somebody's going south. So let's just hear, because this is you're playing with Roger Kellaway.
Yeah, Roger is one of the greatest piano players on the planet.
That's a phenomenal Roger Kellaway trio, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And who are the members of that trio? Do you know?
Yeah, so in New York, it's going to be Jay Lenhart and Ronnie Ben-Hur.
Ronnie Ben-Hur.
Both, pretty famous jazz guys.
Yes.
Not quite as famous as Roger. Roger's a Grammy winner, Oscar Award nominee for A Star Is Born with Barbra Streisand. Right. He wrote the theme for All in the Family. I mean, He's really something.
He's up there, yeah. And this is going to be great. Well, let's hear something from your CD, which the Birdland Show is based on. I was explaining a lot of Christmas songs and many composed by Jewish composers, right? All of them? Really?
That was the whole thing. Yeah, I grew up loving these songs, and when I found out they were written by Jewish songwriters, I realized why the lyrics to these songs spoke so deeply to me. These were my people speaking about home and family, and
right, like
so
White
every
Christmas.
Song that's like White Christmas.
Irving Berlin.
Yeah, and I don't know how many people know he wrote that when he was living in Beverly Hills. So he was thinking about a White Christmas back east.
That he wasn't having.
I love all this stuff.
He wasn't getting
he was
it.
Not having.
Right. Well, just like you'll be craving in Florida, you'll be craving the winter frigidness, right? I know that will happen.
Yeah. Maybe not so much.
Not so much. But let's go to one of your, I love this song, The Christmas Waltz, written by Julie Stein with lyrics by Sammy Kahn. And how's that for a choice, Jake?
Sammy Kahn, really Sammy Cohen.
Why even bother changing it? Cohen. So let's hear Christmas Waltz. This is Jake Ehrenreich from the CD Treasury of Jewish Christmas Songs, which will be performed both in Birdland in New York City and in Florida. Check out jakeehrenreich.com, JakeEhrenreich.com. So here's Jules Stein's Christmas Waltz.
Painted candy canes on a tree. Santa's on his way. He's filled his sleigh with things for you and for me. It's that time of year when the world falls in love. Every song you hear seems to say, Merry Christmas, may your New Year dreams come true. And this song of mine, in 3/4 time, wishes you and yours the same thing too. Time of year when the world falls in love, every song you hear seems to say, Merry Christmas, may your New Year dreams come true. And this song of mine, in 3/4 time, wishes you and yours the same thing too. The same thing too.
That was just exquisite, Jake Ehrenreich. That was The Christmas Waltz by Jules Stein and Sammy Kahn. And God, I love that piano tinkling of the keys. And your voice is really, really smooth and velvety and so wonderful to listen to. You wanted to tell me a story.
Well, the funny thing about it, so we talked a little about, we've gotten so many lovely reviews on the CD, but I must have 25 that mention Tony Bennett. And the funny thing about it is I never thought of it that way.
Really?
And really, I was a rock and roll singer for most of my life, even though I sang standards. But the way I met Roger was, so we had a mutual friend who passed away, a wonderful a composer and conductor, a producer. His name was Ehrenreich. And
I know who that is. Yes.
Very famous, right? He ran CBS Records. He actually produced many of Tony Bennett's records, including one called The Art of Excellence, which is a big deal record. And he wrote a song called Forget the Woman that's on that too. Okay. And at his memorial, Tony was supposed to come sing it. And something happened. I wasn't feeling it or something. And the next thing I know, his wife, who's a dear friend of ours, Pat Phillips, who's a big producer too, she said, Jake, would you sing it?
Oh, my gosh.
So I sang it, and Roger played piano, and that's how we connected musically.
Wow.
And he said to Pat, if he ever wants to do anything, man, I'm into it.
Wow. What an amazing story.
Is that funny? Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, so maybe now you should just do a duets album and call...
Yeah, I know. I mean,
that's
it's a
great.
funny thing. I'll take it, man. You could be compared to worse people, I think.
That is a major, wonderful. Did you get to meet him?
A long time ago, I did. Not to the degree where he would remember me, but we went to see him recently. And, one of the people I did spend some time with is Alan Malin Bergman,
right?
Who wrote a lot of tunes that Tony recorded. And I know they're really close to him. And I was actually wondering, maybe I should mention to them the reviews. They actually submitted us a Grammy nomination. So
right.
I really know them. They love the record.
Great.
We did a song of theirs called Christmas Love Song.
Yes.
And I was wondering, gee, do I have the chutzpah to say, you think I could meet him and say hi? And I don't know. We'll see.
I think why not? What's the worst that can happen? Will they say no?
Why not?
Why not?
It's
right?
True. It's true, but you never know. I had the good fortune when we were doing my show in Los Angeles. We got to go to Sid Caesar's house a few times. They would have these dinners when he was still alive, and it was Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner and all these guys. And I remember saying to Mel, why don't you come see my show? He said, look, I heard the show's great.
I think we're fading out here, right? It says connected, but we're on the Sid Caesar story. Well, let's just start playing something of, let's play a little bit of Soll Sein, which is a Yiddish song from Jake's album Yiddish Unplugged, which was a sort of an homage to his father. Can you play a little bit of that, Jake? Jade. Jade and Jake.
Soll sein, als ich boi in der Luft meine Schlösser. Soll sein, als mein Gott ist im Ganzen nicht da. In Träum ist mir heller, in Träum ist mir besser, in Cholem der Himmel ist bläuer von blau. In Träum ist mir heller, in Träum ist mir besser, in Cholem der Himmel is bläuer von blau. Soll sein, als fällt kein Mut zum Ziel nicht der Langen. Soll sein, als mein Schiff wenn es kommen zum Brei. Mir geht nicht in dem, ich soll haben der Gangen. Mir geht nur in Gang auf a sonnigen Weg. Mir geht nicht in dem.
All right, Jake is back from the highway talking about Soll Sein. Go ahead, Jake, Ehrenreich.
The thing about Soll Sein, when my father passed away, I decided that in his honor I would do an album of Yiddish art and folk songs.
Oh, beautiful.
So I spoke to his, this wasn't my mother, but my mother passed very early. So this was a woman that was my father's second wife, who I loved, She now lives next door there. She's my son's boogie. And I said, what were my father's favorite Yiddish songs that I don't know about? And one of them was this song, Soul Zion. Now, Soul Zion in Yiddish means what if. And the lyrics of this song says, what if my dreams don't come true? What if, even my God doesn't exist? And the refrain says, as long as I live my life on a happy road, I will have lived a fulfilled life. And I thought, my father liked that song? He was so dark, man. And I thought, this is so great.
But it is kind of a
beautiful song.
It is gorgeous, and it is a deep, philosophical, Jewish kind of intellectual, curious, probing, could be even dark question, right? So
I find it very hopeful and very optimistic, and it was so beautiful to look into my father's soul a little that way. We were very close anyway, so it was very cool.
What a gorgeous way to honor your father and this whole Yiddish culture and this song. Absolutely beautiful. Really, mazel tov.
Thank you.
Now,
and the guitar player on this song is a guy named C. Lansbaum, who I heard on a record with Shlomo Carlebach and his daughter, Neshama Carlebach, who's also a great singer.
Yes.
And I thought, wow, this guy plays so great. And I called him to do this because it's just unplugged. It's just me and guitar.
Right.
And it turns out he's a child of Holocaust survivors, too. So it was unbelievable.
It was
really
Bashert. Jake, I think we're almost out of time. So what I wanted to go out with is one of my all-time favorites. It's the Vince Guaraldi song. Now, he's not Jewish, is he?
No, but Lee Mendelson, who wrote the lyrics.
He is. Yes. What a great album this is. I've got a story about searching for that album that I'll tell you sometime. And this is Christmas Time is Here. It's just poignant and beautiful. And Jake Ehrenreich, I just can't thank you enough for calling from on the road on 95 South, yet calling back 3 times. Thank you so much for being my guest on Mia's World. And check out jakeehrenreich.com. Check out the Birdland performances coming up December 24th and 5th, and the 3 Florida performances this Sunday, the 9th, the 12th, and the 16th. And check out everything about Jake, JBS, and his show, and filmed at the Triad, and his book, and his Treasury of Jewish Christmas Songs. This is from the CD, and this is the Vince Guaraldi, Lee Mendelson tune, Christmas Time is Here. Thank you so much, Jake.
Happy Hanukkah to all.
Happy Hanukkah back. Have some latkes. Here comes the song.
Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for all that children call their favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air, carols everywhere, olden times and ancient rhymes of love and dreams to share. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere, Yuletide by the fireside, with joyful memories there. Christmas time is here, families drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere, Yuletide by the fireside, and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here, always see such spirit through the year. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the years.